Hello student of grade 12. Today I'm going to start a new chapter called Microbes in Human Welfare. Okay. We know that from the standard of class 8 you have been studying about the microorganisms. Okay. Many times we heard that microorganisms are harmful, okay, for human being or even for the animals or even for the plants. They can cause diseases, okay, and they can be harmful to both plants and animals. As we know that microorganisms are present, are found everywhere, okay, and it is abundant on this earth. You may find microorganisms in the soil, okay. You may find in the air, you can find even in the water, okay. You can find even on those places where no life can exist, even in the acidic environment, okay. Even in the high temperature above 100 degrees Celsius, you will find microorganisms. These microorganisms are harmful, may be harmful to the living organisms, but today you're going to understand that some microorganisms are beneficial and they can be useful to mankind. And today we are using those microorganisms. Okay, the first microorganisms, or let's discuss some of the important, in what way the microorganisms can be useful. The first, number one, is the household. Okay, in the household, maybe in our kitchen, we may be using microorganism products today. For example, food products like, curd. Okay, we used to eat curd, right? So curd is the product of microorganism. How? This is a microorganism called Lactobacillus, and they produce lactic acid. Lactic acid, or I will say this as lactic acid bacteria. These are useful to convert the milk to curd, okay? Milk to curd. So lactobacillus, okay, is a bacterium. It's a microorganism, okay? Bacteria. See, microorganism can be virus. It can be viroid, okay? It can be even protozoa. It can be fungi, okay? Fungus. It can be even bacteria. We can use microorganisms, and today we are using microorganisms. So lactobacillus, the curd that we eat, okay, it's a very good nutritious content, okay. Nutritious, it contains vitamin B12. Not only that, if you eat curd after having food, it helps in the process of digestion, okay. And it also check the disease-causing microbes in our stomach. Okay, in our stomach, it can check whether there is a other microorganism that cause diseases in our body. So lactobacillus is a useful bacterium that we used as a that can be used as a helping to produce food products that convert milk to curd. Okay. So the next microorganism is about Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay, this is very common. Okay, cerevisiae. Okay, so this we call baker yeast. Today we used Dough, D-O-U-G-H. We call, and this is a product of this yeast called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. We use in the preparation, in the manufacture of bread. Okay, bread, right? Very common. We heard about the bread. Early morning we used to have bread, right? So this bread, in the manufacture of bread, okay, the puffy, okay, the hole that comes out is because of the yeast called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. That's why we also call as baker yeast. Okay. The next thing about the usefulness of this microorganism, about this yeast, is about the beverage. Okay, the alcohol products. Okay, the alcohol products in the form of wine, beer, rum, whiskey. Okay, so these are the microorganism. This microorganism is helping to convert the resources. The sources can be like, for just say the fruit, okay, where it can be like sugar, okay, sugars or the product, okay, the reactant that we used for the manufacture of those alcohol, okay, or wine, beer, these are beveraged. So that can be, this microorganism is helpful for the conversion of those products. Today we say ethanol, okay, C2H5OH is also a product of this microorganism, okay. The third microorganism is very important, okay. The first microorganism is about the microbes that are helpful to human being, is about the household food products, okay. The second was the beverage by the process of fermentation, okay. I will say this as fermentation. So by the process of fermentation, we are getting, okay, you can use a source of carbohydrates, glucose, okay, that are found in the plants, okay. So that can be used, and then we can, by the process of fermentation, we can produce the alcohol products. So we say that microbes can be useful in the manufacture of beverage. The third is, during the World War II, there was a scientist called as Alexander Fleming, okay, which he was working in staphylococci, okay, staphylococcus. He was working on the staphylococci. So this Alexander Fleming was working on staphylococci, okay. So there was a Petri plate. In that Petri plate, they found that there was a mold, M-O-U-L-D, mold, and this mold started growing. This mold started growing, and then where the mold growing, staphylococci did not grow. So Alexander Fleming tried to find out the reason. What is the factor? What makes the staphylococci not to grow in that Petri plates? Okay, so they found that this mold produced a chemical, and Alexander Fleming named it as penicillin. Okay, penicillin. Okay, so this penicillin, he named it as penicillin, and today we use as an effective antibiotics. Later on, during the World War II, many the injured soldiers during the war, okay, they have been injected with penicillin as an antibiotics, as a painkillers, okay. So these penicillin were used as an antibiotics. So from here you can know that the microorganisms can be useful for the production of antibiotics. And if I say antibiotics, antibiotics are those chemicals which are produced by the microorganism, and we use those chemicals to inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Okay, so antibiotics means these are chemicals that inhibit the growth of microorganisms. Okay, so we can and that microorganism is nothing but Penicillium notatum. It's a mold. Penicillium notatum. Penicillium notatum. Okay. So it's a microorganism, a mold. Okay, from where the penicillin was obtained, and we use penicillin as an antibiotics. So it was Alexander Fleming, Chen, and Florey. Okay, they got a Nobel Prize. And today in this modern world, okay, if you get any diseases, doctors or the pharmacists, they advise you to take antibiotics. Today, with the help of modern science, today we used different antibiotics has been developed to fight against the plague, okay, to fight against the diphtheria, okay. So many antibiotics have been developed till date, okay. So here we can understand that the microorganisms, okay, the microbes can be useful to the mankind. The next microorganism I would like to discuss is aspergillus niger. It's a this aspergillus niger it's a bacteria, okay, it's a fungus, okay, that produced the citric acid. So this produced citric acid. Acidobacter, it's a bacteria. It's a aspergillus niger is a fungus. Acetobacter is aceti is a bacteria that produce acetic acid. Acetic acid. I hope you know the formula of acetic acid. CH3 COOH. Okay. So we have another enzymes called as streptokinase. So streptokinase is an enzyme. Okay, is an enzyme. Is an enzyme that produced by streptococcus. Streptococcus. So it was produced by streptococcus. This streptokinase is it is helping, as a cloth buster. I'll say cloth buster. So the cloth buster means, this can be harmful. Cloth buster means if this is your blood vessels and if there is a clot forming, then what will happen? This will not allow the passage of blood flow in our blood vessels. So this clot, removing this clot, if not there may be a heart attack, myocardial infection, and it may cause death to the patient. So removing this clot, just say this is blood vessels. So this question was asked in your competitive examination. Very important point. This streptokinase is an enzyme. Okay, it's an enzyme that can be, that help to remove this clot. That's why we call this as blood clot buster. It removes the clot, from the blood vessels. It removes the clot, so the blood will flow. Okay, because the blood RBC or the other cells of your blood are responsible for carrying the oxygen throughout our body, like RBC. Okay, so streptococcus kinase is an enzyme that is produced by streptococcus. Another we have called Trichoderma polysperm. Okay, this Trichoderma polysperm, they produce cyclosporin A. When I say cyclosporin A, these are called bioactive molecules. Bioactive molecules. So cyclosporin A, bioactive molecules. Okay, it is used during the organ transplantation. Okay, when a patient go for organ transplantation, it is used as an immunosuppressive agent. Okay, immunosuppressive agent. Cyclosporin A is used as an immunosuppressive agent during organ transplantation. We have another microorganism called as Monoscus purpureus. Okay, Monoscus purpureus that produce statin. So statin is also a bioactive molecule. Okay, now it is used for the blood cholesterol lowering agent. Okay, blood cholesterol, cholesterol agent. So in blood they reduce the level of cholesterol. Okay, so statin is a bioactive molecule. Okay, so here I have discussed about some of the important microorganisms. How microorganism can be useful. Microorganism can be useful in the household products. They can be useful in the production of alcohol and in other food beverage. They can be useful in the production of antibiotics. They can be useful as the production of acid, bioactive molecules and enzymes. Okay, so these are some of the uses. We can also use microorganism if you know how to control. We can use, because there are many plants and animals, plants and pests that have been infected. That have been infected by the microorganism. They cause diseases. But if we know how to control, so let's understand the meaning of biocontrol. So we can use, just say that if there is a disease, and that disease can be controlled by using microorganism, or just say microbes. By using microbes, you want to control this disease. But today, if you go for farming, what we do normally, we go for using of we use pesticides, we use herbicides, insecticides to kill the insects, right? But these are harmful not only to the human being. When we consume, these are harmful to our health, but they also affect the groundwater. Okay, they also disturb the like it get polluted. The waters get polluted. Okay, it helps even other organisms to grow, which are harmful. Okay, so the microbes, if we know how to control it, we can use microbe to control those diseases. And today we say this as biopesticides. We can use microorganism as a biopesticides. We can also use microorganism as a bioherbicides. Herbicides. So here we can, we can use for the weeds. Here we can use for the pest. And one of the microorganisms that I have discussed in biotechnology was Bacillus thuringiensis, right? Where we use their cry gene to control the pest. So this is a very important point. Okay. Next is called biogas. Today in every household we use biogas, right? This biogas contain methane, right? But do you know that these biogas are the product of microorganism? Where the microorganism, and these microorganisms are known as methanogens, and which are useful by a bacteria called as methanobacterium. Okay, methanobacterium are responsible for the production of biogas. The last point that I'm going to discuss is about biofertilizers. We know that even microorganisms can also be used as a biofertilizers. So biofertilizers means low cost. It does not cause pollution. Does not cause pollution. What can be the biofertilizer? We can use fungi. We can also use bacteria. We can also use cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria. Okay. The next point is about the next usefulness about your microorganism is the sewage. Sewage is what? Sewage is nothing but the municipal water that comes from your house, the waste. Okay, so we can use microorganism for the treatment of this sewage. Okay, we have primary treatment, we have secondary treatment, or we call the biological treatment, and we have the tertiary treatment. So in this short video of this chapter, I have discussed few important points about the microbes, usefulness of the microbes in our daily life. If we know how to use microbe, this can be useful. But if we don't know this, this can be harmful to human beings. So with this short video, if you find any problem, I request all the students, this topic is very important for your midterm examinations. I want all of you to get through. And then if you find any problem, kindly come up. You can send messages, or you can even call me up to clear your concepts. Have a nice day. Thank you.